out-and-out favourites by a country mile are India. Home conditions, they won't have to play a game outside of India if they go all the way to the final.
What is Afghanistan's ceiling?
I don't think we've seen the ceiling.
So they can win it?
Absolutely.
Anyone you feel was unlucky not to be part of the squad?
Uttamchandani Bartman, who was just, he stood out like a sore thumb in the Betway SA20.
Watch out for Surya Kumar Yadav. I find this man, the things I'm seeing in the media more is people are writing off this guy, saying drop him. He's captain now, new role, but I think he's gonna bounce back like we've never seen before.
I would have Liam in pretty much every white ball England team that is selected at the moment.
My bold prediction will be a subcontinent team will not win the World Cup.
Oh.
The beauty about the sport of cricket is it is the gift that keeps on giving. We are recording this the day before the Betway SA20 final, but no time to breathe because in a week's time, we will be heading to India. T20 World Cup action, 20 teams, all the stakes, and every team will want to lift the trophy. Eoin Morgan is alongside me, a man that's played in several World Cups. Morgs, it's a huge event, and I can think of at least 10 teams who have a chance of winning it. Where do you think the balance of power lies, just broad spectrum going into the competition?
Well, here, I think out-and-out favourites by a country mile are India. Home conditions, they won't have to play a game outside of India if they go all the way to the final. The talent that they keep producing across all bases. So you think of T20 and how unpredictable it can be. So you want to box off going into a tournament the uncertainty of what might occur. And that's, you know, top order batters who are aggressive, middle order batters that can play against spin on slow wickets that are also power hitters. Then your spinners that turn it both ways. So ideally you have at least one wrist spinner in your squad. And then your quicks with variations, left arm, right arm, people that can bowl it to death. And India stand head and shoulders above everybody else before a ball is bowled. Now, we know the unpredictability of T20, World Cups, dealing with teams and humans and emotion and the pressure that home advantage sometimes can apply to teams around the world. So it's going to be fascinating to see how they both handle it and perform from start to finish. I think sitting alongside or behind India or Australia alone, then I'd have teams like South Africa, England, Sri Lanka and New Zealand as well, all capable of getting to the latter stages, semi-final, final. But I think they're competing against mainly India.
I think you missed one. Oh, it begins with a W.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Winter Wonderland.
Right. Anyways, Morgs, we're at the Betway SA20 and I think there are about 10 teams in the World Cup with representation of players from this competition. So I want to start with the team that has the most, the Proteas. First of all, they'll all be remembering 2024, the final, but it is a new team. They've made a lot of changes. Klassen is retired. Can they get over the heartbreak of getting so close to winning their first World Cup and not getting over the line?
The reason I think that they can get over it is because the progress that they've made beyond that. They haven't allowed that moment define any of the formats that they play in to date. And when you go through the squad, they pretty much have all bases covered. The only base that I would worry about is that if you play against a country that has a lot of left-handers, they have two left-arm spinners. They don't have a wrist spinner within the squad that I can see. So if you do come across a lot of left-handed batters, that's probably a disadvantage over, say, having a right-arm part-timer, which they have in Aidan Markram or Tristan Stubbs. But again, you're into part-time bowlers against high-quality batters. But otherwise, they're a strong side. The rest of the bases are covered.
Obviously, Stubbs and Rickerton have been added. Both of, well, Rickerton especially 200s in the Betway SA20. Anyone you feel was unlucky not to be part of the squad?
Oh, those two to start with, alongside Uttamchandani Bartman, who was just, he stood out like a sore thumb in the Betway SA20. He's hit a good line and length, which is like the base of any good bowler. But if you can get that in T20 cricket along with his other attributes where he can jam in a Yorker, has a good slow ball, he's a surprise bouncer. I mean, you're looking at a complete package, and it's not like he's new to T20 cricketer franchise tournaments. He was the all-time leading wicket taker throughout the whole of this tournament. He was the leading wicket taker as well. So I was baffled to see him omitted. And I'd probably go the two guys that have now been added to the squad. They were a bit of a surprise to be left out.
Let's talk about a team that's very close to your heart. Two teams actually, but first I'll start with England. It's been a very emotional period. The Ashes, obviously they're in Sri Lanka now, and we see Brendan McCullum's style is to have a lot of the same players. Someone like Duckett is going to go from series to World Cup. What needs to happen if England are to win the World Cup?
For England to win the World Cup, I think runs at the top of the order from their best batters. Phil Salton and Jos Buttler are imperative. I also see a big tournament for the likes of Adil Rashid and Jofra Archer. And I think a surprise package for England in this tournament is going to be Josh Tongue. He's been in late inclusion in the tournament, had a good 100 last year. He's renowned as more of a red ball bowler, but the style of bowler that he is should suit conditions in India.
What would be your opening combination?
Personally, my opening combination would be Salt and Buttler. And I would bat Ben Duckett at 3. I'm not sure how they're going to line up.
Does Bethel fit into that 11 as well?
Bethel doesn't fit into that 11. So
Sam Curran?
Sam Curran does fit into that 11. Previously, they've gone with Jamie Smith started up the top, then Duckett towards the end of the summer, and they had an incredibly successful time of it this year, scoring upwards of 300 in a T20 game against South Africa is an incredible achievement. But I think the makeup might slightly change. I also like the power pack top of the order in the power play in India, just taking advantage of it. It also allows the likes of Salt and Buttler, two guys who notoriously score T20 hundreds. It allows them that time to shape the innings for their team and give them the utmost time to win the game.
It's not an easy team to pick by any means, but one name that was probably in the public about not being included was Liam Livingstone. Did you feel like he should have been, given the options he gives you with both bowling types and the batting power towards the end?
Yeah, I was surprised. I would have Liam in pretty much every white ball England team that is selected at the moment. I think he's coming into the best years of his cricket, but with bat and ball. Also a potential leader within the ranks.
Now to your first love, Eoin Morgan, the Irish. They're not in an easy group. It's going to be a challenge with Australia, Sri Lanka, I think Zim and Oman as well. What expectations should Irish fans have under Paul Stirling's leadership for that team?
Yeah, here, like you mentioned, it's going to be a tough group, but also at the same time, there's a huge amount of progression that Irish cricket has gone through in the last 15 years. So some of the players that we should look out for in this tournament that are, again, have been around a considerable period of time. Paul Stirling, obviously, you mentioned, who's known around the world, but the likes of Lorcan Tucker as well, Harry Tector, who's been around a long time, and with the ball, probably Josh Liddell you have to look out for as well, capable of getting the world's best batters out. It's a matter of producing that when Ireland need it, and that will contribute to them beating the higher ranked sides.
At the Betway SA20 this year, we had a number of Afghans. Last season we had Ramanullah Gurbaz who opens for Afghanistan, but the three that we had this year, especially Noor, Rashid Khan, Mujib, will form pretty much the core of their bowling attack. They got to the semi-final in the last T20 World Cup, Morgs. What is Afghanistan's ceiling?
I don't think we've seen their ceiling.
So they can win it?
Absolutely.
Well. Really?
Absolutely. I think on any given day, the three spinners that you just mentioned, particularly Noor, I think Noor's progression in the last 3 years has been incredible. He's becoming more difficult to read. He's bowled with more control and therefore has been more threatening as a bowler. And then when you see the combination around him, how that will manufacture itself, the things that Afghanistan, for me, need to improve on in order to, clinch those bigger moments in the tournament are fielding, control of emotions, and volume of runs. I think the bowling attack is brilliant. I think that looks after itself. But when they formulate that on any given day, they can beat anybody in the world, and that includes India.
Yeah, the biggest thing with them has always been their batting. But Zajran has found great form. They've got two exciting youngsters in that top order. Sedikula Atal, who came last year from my Cape Town as a replacement, and then Rasuli, who just dominated the West Indies in a recent series. If they can get the batting right, my goodness, they'll be a handful. But Morgs, I had to save the best for last. No bias involved, but can the West Indies win the World Cup?
I don't think they can.
Cut this show. Cut this show.
I don't. I don't. I would love to sit here and tell you that they're an outside chance. And you know what? The West Indies play some of the best cricket when they are an outside chance. I see them struggling at this year's World Cup, and I don't like that. My hero growing up was Brian Lara. I followed a lot of West Indian cricket when I was a kid, but it makes me sad to say that. But I have to be honest.
Where lies the problems for you?
Bowling department. I would say, so I'd actually say, so they toured England last year, and the most disappointing thing I would say about the bowling was actually taking on responsibility at different stages. And I don't know if that was the captain not getting the best bowler in the right position, the bowler's willingness to bowl in that position, or just an all-round unknown as to what everybody's role is within the team. I think in order to get that right to start with, gives you a better chance, but then to perform in that role, you obviously need the experience as well. So that's concerning me.
But Morgs, we've been instructed by our producer that we've got to make a few big takes, big predictions. So, any bold predictions for you at this World Cup?
Bold predictions are Afghanistan to go to the semi-final again.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my bold prediction will be a subcontinent team will not win the World Cup.
Oh,
I hope this ages well. And next, Morgs, one player you think that will define the T20 World Cup is hard. There are so many quality players in every team. But is there any player that you think will really stand out?
For me, it's Phil Salt of England. I think in the last couple of years, he's gone to a new level of destruction. He's had a good time of it at RCB in the IPL. Confidence of playing in those conditions is vitally important. So I will say his sort of talent will have the ability to shape the whole World Cup.
Watch out for Surya Kumar Yadav. I find this man, the things I'm seeing in the media more, people are writing off this guy, saying drop him. He's captain now, new role. But I think he's going to bounce back like we've never seen before. Such a quality player. Morgs, well, unfortunately, at the end of the Betway SA 20, it means the end to down south. But it's been a short time, but a good time.
Been a pleasure.
I've loved it, man. Next up, T20 World Cup. Fans can't wait to see you there. Keep supporting and keep loving the game.